little bit of a warm-up round on simple interest. And you'll remember, if you were here on Tuesday, not to worry if you weren't here on Tuesday, because you can access our recordings on our website of all the lessons. But we're going to do a bit of a warm-up round to just make sure everyone's on the same page with what we covered about simple interest. So you'll remember that simple interest means that you just keep getting interest when you put your money away, or if you're borrowing money, on the original amount that you borrowed or invested. So I'm going to do this first one with you just to remind us again how this works. So you receive 5,000 Rand from your grandmother on your 21st birthday. You invest it for, oops, the number of years is gone. That's 5 years at 7% simple interest. What is your investment worth after 5 years? So I'm going to pop the formula here for you that you can use for simple interest. And then I want you to give it a go. And in about a minute, I'm going to ask you to pop your answer in the chat. Okay, but hold your answers. Don't pop it into the chat right away. Just try and work it out first. And then when I call for answers, pop it in the chat. Okay, so you've got about a minute. Have your calculator ready, pen, paper, all of that stuff. Let's see. Okay, if you've got an answer, get ready and put it in the chat. Let's see. Leto says it's 6,750. Zenenkle says it's 22,500. Remember, guys, we put our money away for 5 years. So when you do your answer, make sure you check that it makes sense. Let's get some more answers, guys. We are already 70 odd strong in this class, so I want to see lots of answers in the chat. No harm in trying, remember? Okay, so 6750. Let's get a few more. And Diswa also says that, and Inam. Okay, so we've got a few different answers, but most people agree that it's 6750. Okay, so remember, a good way to start is to write down your values, and your interest rate is 0.07 as a decimal. How can we convert that percentage to a decimal? We just divide by 100. And I suspect some of you might have gone wrong by just using 7 and not 0.07. Maybe check if that's not maybe where you made a mistake. So an N is our number of years, that's 5. We pop that into our formula. P is 5,000. 0.07 times by 5. And I also got 6750. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you are happy with that. If you have a thumbs down, you can put that in the chat as well, but make sure you follow that thumbs down up with a question. Okay, good stuff. Right, seeing lots of thumbs up. Awesome. Right, let's go on to question 2. Well done, everybody. Let's see. Osman takes out a loan of 2,400 Rand at 9% simple interest. So how much does he owe after 3 years? Okay, I'm going to give you another minute to do this one. Pop your answer in the chat when you're ready. Okay, Mokoko Bali, I'm going to go back quickly. There you go. No problem. Okay, when you've worked it out, pop your answer in the chat. Let's see how much Osman owes after 3 years. Okay, and remember when you get your answer to check, does this answer make sense? Is the number maybe too big or too small? Did I put everything in correctly on my calculator? There's many different ways many checks that you can do to make sure that you are on the money, literally, with financial maths. Okay. So our principal is 2,400. Our interest rate is 9% as a decimal, and we are putting our money away for 3 years. So we put that into the calculator, 2,400. And I also get the same as you guys, 3,048. Excellent. Now let's see, what is the interest amount he pays? Who can tell me how to work out the interest amount? Just the interest. So on his loan, how much interest does he pay? Nanelo's on it. Well done. And Iletu also. Yeah, we're just going to say this 3,048 Rand minus what he borrowed in the beginning. The difference between those two amounts, that gives you the interest that you're actually paying, or that Osman's paying in any case. Okay, good. Right, one last one. Let's see. Well done, Lenilo. And Leah also got it. Okay, one last one. Let's do this one. Let's see if we can all get it. One more minute, and then we're going to move on to hire purchase. Okay, so pop your answer in the chat when you have it. Again, guys, check that your answer makes sense. So Iletu, that number looks very big. So check if you are putting the right percentage into your calculator. You must put the 12%. You can use the percent button in your calculator, or you can just convert the 12% to a decimal by dividing by 100. So I think those of you who are getting these huge numbers might be doing something wrong with the interest rate. So just double check. Okay, but it looks like most of us are getting there. So I'm just going to go straight into substitution into our formula. So that is 0,12 times 2,5. It's 2.5 years, so we just put down the 2,5. And I also get what you got, which is 16,250. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that's a little bit of calculations with simple interest. Yeah, it seems like we cleared up a lot of the misunderstanding from Tuesday, so that's great. And now we're going to look at an application of simple interest, which is called hire purchase. Okay, so has anyone ever gone to a shop to buy like something that's a little bit expensive, like fridge or a big TV or I don't know, a lounge furniture set. Who's done that before? Give me a thumbs up if you've ever gone with your parents. I don't think any of you have ever bought stuff like that, but maybe you've gone with your parents or grandparents. Yeah, nice to shop, eh? Unfortunately, everything costs money, and sometimes these things are really expensive, and we can't afford to buy it in like one go because most people don't have like that big an amount of money lying around. Okay, so what we get here in South Africa is a way to buy stuff. It's called a hire purchase. And what it is basically you go to the shop and they give you the item that you want to buy, but you pay it off over time. And maybe Mr. Eric can go buy a dishwasher on hire purchase this weekend. We're going to explain to him now how it works, and then maybe he can. But on the other hand, it's not a good idea because you have to pay interest. So you have to weigh it up. Otherwise, it's going to be washing dishes by hand for a long time. Okay, so let's have a look at this example. I want to buy a fridge, or you want to buy a fridge. In this case, Mr. Eric wants to buy a dishwasher. Pick and Pay advertises a 220-litre fridge for 12,999 Rand. Or you can get it on hire purchase. The hire purchase contract states that you have to pay 10% deposit and monthly installments at an interest rate of 15% for 3 years. Okay, so I just want everyone to read that quietly on their own for a few minutes or a few seconds. Actually, I don't think it will take that long. And just make sure you understand what this all means and what it is asking. And when you are done, as always, put your reading face in the chat so that I know you are done reading the question. Umpile, that was very fast. Maybe you were reading while I was reading. Okay, looks like many of you have done it. Remember, guys, please post so that I know if everyone's done. Still a few more people, I think, who needs to post. Okay, good stuff. Now, let's highlight some of the important information. The fact that the fridge is going to cost 12,999 Rand. That is the price of the fridge. And you're going to get it on a hire purchase agreement. You have to pay a deposit of 10%. And then you're going to pay off the rest. So how the deposit works is you pay the 10%, and because the shop basically says, well, you have to pay something because you're going to take our fridge out of the store. So give us 10% and you can have the fridge, but then you have to pay it off in monthly installments. And we're going to charge you interest of 15% per annum. And by the way, that is simple interest. And our time period is 3 years. So that's important. Okay. So determine the total price of the hire purchase contract. Okay. So there's a few things here we need to calculate. So the first thing is, how much deposit are we paying? Deposit amount. Work it out and then pop it in the chat. How much is the deposit? The deposit is 10% of the price. So work that out and then put it in the chat. Things is quick. Let's only round to 2 decimal places, guys. Don't just round to the nearest whole number. I know it's really close to 1,300, but we have to stick to 2 decimal places. 1299,9. Okay. Right, so to get our deposit, we're going to say 12,999 times 10 divided by 100, and that gives me 1299,9. Okay, so most of you got that. So we're going to take that and subtract it from the purchase price, and that's going to give us how much we actually owe the store, because we pay the deposit and then there's still the rest left that we have to pay off. So that's going to be our principal amount. So let's call it, for the principal is the price, the purchase price minus the deposit. So for that, we're going to go 12,999 minus 1299,90 and pop that in the chat if you've worked it out. Okay, 11,699,10. Well done. Okay, so that is the amount we have to give, like pay off to the store, but that is going to earn simple interest. So we're going to put that into our simple interest formula so that we can see what the total is with interest that we actually have to pay back. So let's do that. And once you've worked it out, put your answer in the chat. So our principal is 11,699. Our interest rate we had up here is 15%, and that's going to be for 3 years. Lelo, I hope I'm saying that right. Lelo puts a little question mark, like not sure, I think. Remember, we must round to 2 decimal places, everyone. Well, I've left off my decimal place here, speaking of decimal places. So we need to take that full amount, 11, because the store is not giving us any discount, not even the 10 cents. Someone's saying, oh. Okay, times by 3. Yeah, and I think most of you got this one right as well. So 16,963, and we have to round to 2 decimal places, so that's 70. Where did we get 3? That's how long the agreement is for, this hire purchase agreement. It's from the question, so it's 3 years, and then it's 15% interest. Okay. All right, so that is how much we're actually going to end up paying for this fridge plus the deposit, because that's all the money we have to fork out. So let's now see what are the monthly repayments. Who knows how to calculate the monthly repayments? And pop it in the chat if you know, or you can raise your hand if you want to tell us how to calculate the monthly repayments. Yes, Keith, I agree. There are 36 monthly repayments. Yes, we divide by 36, Lashandre. Susan, where does the 1 come from? I'm not sure which one you mean. So just be a little bit more specific, then we can help you. People are just popping 36 into the chat. There we go, Subukasi, the amount divided by 36. Nice, that is a lot more clear. So your monthly repayments, I'm just going to move this. It comes from the formula, Susan. The 1 plus is just from the formula. So we're going to do monthly repayment is the total 16,963,70 divided by 36. And yes, I think you guys got that one right as well. And that's 471,21. Okay. Yep. That is interest. Honorine, I'm not sure what we are multiplying instead of adding. I'm trying to just maybe put in the chat multiply and add instead of what? Which numbers are you talking about? Just let us know. Mokokobale, you asking for A, are we bound to use that method? Well, those are the numbers you have to take into account. You have to subtract the deposit and you have to calculate the simple interest. So you could have just calculated the interest amount and added it to the principal, but yep, you have to use the deposit and simple interest. Mr. Eric, could you maybe reach out to Honorine and just she is struggling with A, but I'm not entirely sure what exactly the problem is. Okay, Mokokobali says you were taught something different. Remember, the questions are different, hey? Different questions. Maybe there's a different, but this is generally how hire purchase goes. Let's do another one. Let's see. Okay, any other questions before we move on? Patience, that is not for simple interest, that is for compound interest, which we're not doing right now. So save that for when we get to compound interest, okay? Right, let's do this next question and let's see how we go. I'm going to leave you alone for about 2 minutes to work on this question on your own for a bit. And then we will check in about 2 minutes to see how it's going. Just one little note while you are working, we do convert years to months because we are making monthly repayments. So if there's 2 years, we must turn that into months by timesing by 12.
Mhm.
It's all good, Dube. Mr. Eric is our teaching assistant this evening. Okay, so let's see. Emilio. To find the answer for B, do we subtract the deposit from the actual amount? Yes, and then we're going to work out the interest. No, it's good, Dube. Thanks for watching out for us, eh? Okay, maybe some of you would like to. Okay, thanks, Emilio. Let's focus back on our maths. Let's get back to our maths, eh? Yes, let's keep it on topic. Thanks, Mr. Eric. Okay, so who's gonna volunteer to give us an answer for the first one? The cost of the fridge after the deposit has been paid. Deshandra, do you want to put up your hand and unmute yourself and give us the answer? Any volunteers? It'd be nice to hear some of you. It's very quiet in the room this evening. And from the looks of it, your answers are right. So don't be scared to put up your hand, eh?
Hi, ma'am.
Who is speaking to me?
Lashandra, ma'am.
Hi, Lashandra. Okay, so let's do this first question. Calculate the cost of the fridge after the deposit has been paid. So can you tell me first of all how much the deposit is?
Ma'am, it's 450.
Yeah, because we take the 4,500 and we times it by 10% or 10 over 100, and that's 450. And
Yes,
then
ma'am.
what is the cost?
Ma'am, the cost after that will be 5,265 with
Okay,
deposit.
Okay, so we're going to subtract the deposit from the cost of the fridge. So that's going to give us 4,000.
So it's 4,050. Yes. Sorry.
Yes. No, that's fine. I think you're giving me the simple interest.
Yes,
already.
ma'am. I'm sorry.
No, that's all good. Thank you so much. Okay, is there anyone else who wants to do B for us? Calculate the simple interest charged. Hi, Inam. You can unmute, Inam.
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, ma'am. For B, I used the simple interest method and I substituted 4,050 as P.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
open brackets 1 plus 0,1 times 2 close brackets, and the answer I got was 4,860.
Okay, so we must just be careful. Our interest rate is 15%. So just make sure it's not the 10, but not a train smash. All good.
I was
worries.
supposed to substitute 15. Okay. That was a mistake. Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so and we must also just Read the question carefully. It says calculate the simple interest charged. Okay, so let's work out what this is. First of all, 40501 plus 0.15 times 2. And then we get 5265. Yes, Watobians agree. But just checking the chat here. Okay, good stuff. But that's not the simple interest. The simple interest charged will be that difference between what we end up paying minus the 4050. Okay, the same as what we did in the previous question when we did, where was it? How much interest? I think it was our first, one of our first questions we did this evening. So we subtract those two amounts because we just want to see how much the interest is. Yes, and I think that's right. 1215. Okay, someone had their hand up, it disappeared. Come back. We want to hear what you have to say. Emichle is saying, didn't you say that we should convert years to months? Yes, when we are going to do the monthly repayments, definitely. Okay, Tom Bisodwa, you can come back if you want to ask your question. And
no,
then, hi, there you are. Okay.
I was going to answer B.
Do you want to do
the
C?
Answer to B. Yeah, I wanted to answer it, but I got it too.
So do you want to do C instead?
C, okay.
Okay, yeah. Oh, isn't Tombi Sotwa's? Oh, she's gone. Shame. Okay. Nyasha, you go for it.
Ma'am, so how are we going to find the monthly payment? We're going to say 5,265 divided by 24, which gives us 219.38 cents.
That's it. 219 Rand and 38 cents. Okay. Let's see. There's some questions in the chat. Leah Kluma's asking, how did you get 5,265? We just put that into the simple interest formula. Our principal amount, what we start with is 4050. It's 15% for 2 years. And that gave us 5265. LaShandra's back. Let's hear.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, I would just like to find out if you could have converted it to 219.4, is that fine? Or should we have left it that way?
Yeah, so I get on my calculator 219,375.
Yes, ma'am, I also got that.
Yeah, so if we round that, then the 7 must go up to 8.
Okay, so we should leave it in that form of 219.38.
Yeah, for 2 decimal places. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
No problem. So Takola wants to know about C and Anam wants to know about A. Okay, so C, we take let's highlight this, 5265, which is the total cost now of the item we're buying. What was it? It was a fridge. And that's the total amount we're going to repay over 24 months. So we take that and we divide it by 24. How do we do A? We take the deposit. So that's how we calculate the deposit. So it's 4,500. Guys, remember, reread the question if there's maybe something that you feel like there's missing or part of the information that you don't understand. So 4,500 times 10%, so 10 over 100 is 450. And we always subtract the deposit from the cost of the item, because how it works is you're going to go to the store, you're going to give them that money, and they're going to say, okay, it costs 4,500, you're giving us 450, so now you still owe us 4,050. Okay, so when do we use years and when do we use months? So years we use when we calculate the simple interest. When we do this part here, we use years. But because we are paying the amount off over a certain number of months, we make monthly repayments, we have to use months when we calculate the monthly repayment. So for the monthly repayment, months, and for the interest calculation, that's years. Well done, Boniswa. That's well said. That's exactly what I said. See, you can be the TA maybe. Okay, Mr. Eric, I'm going to leave it there. I think it's time for our quiz. And if there are no more questions, Mr. Eric is going to pop the link to the chat, to the quiz in the chat, and then we'll see each other again on Tuesday when we do compound interest. Okay. Thanks, everyone. See you Tuesday.
Thank you, Teacher Marlies. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to pop the quiz in the chat for everyone. And I'm sure you guys know the drill if you've been with Watobe for a while. So this is the quiz. Remember, simple interest and everything we took note of in this class today. Figuring out your deposit amount, subtracting your deposit amount to figure out your principal, calculating the interest on your principal, and then your monthly repayments. I'm sure you guys will do well after such a brilliant lesson.
Oh, wonderful, Boniswa. That's good to hear. Okay, Fortune, you have a question?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi there.
Ma'am, so I joined a bit late and I had to catch up on some stuff, but there's stuff from previous videos that I don't really understand. And I want to ask, but I feel like I'm behind and I don't want to take us further behind.
Okay, no problem. What is there anything specific you want to ask about today?
No, today was fine because we did the
Okay.
second grade 5.
Okay, so then which is it from Tuesday's lesson that you mean?
Yes, and before Tuesday and before. There's just a few things. It's not like I don't know. It's just I have a few questions and I don't know how to ask without taking us back.
Okay. I think you're welcome to use a little bit of time like now when people are going off and doing their quiz. So if you have a question or two, I can try and answer them if they're not like too long, but
Okay.
because sometimes other people are also wondering. Today was pretty much the same as Tuesday. We just added the hire purchase stuff. So if you understood today, that's great.
Okay, ma'am, thank you.